Hello, my narcissistic abuse family. I'm making this video because I feel that it is so relevant to daughters of narcissistic mothers, and guys, it'll impact you as well, because narcissistic women, when they become mothers, they have a bone to pick with the rest of the world. All of their behaviors and their malicious actions are rooted in their own misery, anger, resentment. So when any female in a narcissistic woman's eyes is competition, they are viewed as a threat. Even their own daughters. It is so baffling, but it's what we're dealing with here. That's why narcissism is a legitimate personality disorder. These women are so off the reservation. So, one of the biggest, most hurtful and disgusting things that narcissistic mothers do is shame their daughters or their sons, girlfriends, or friends, or whatever female affiliation these women have. They will just shame them by calling them whores or sluts or something of that nature. I dealt with this just relentlessly because another characteristics of narcissists is that they're control freaks. So up until the age of 7, we're little sponges, we're blank slates. We worship our parents. Everything they say is just word. So we don't question anything. At the age of 8, we start to be a little more autonomous. And as you know, through adolescence and then our teenage years, we start to explore our autonomy. Narcissistic mothers hate this. Hate it. And something that I've read that I was just going over in my last video is shame is the central emotional experience of narcissism. And narcissistic disorders reflect behaviors that disown or regulate shame. So a lot of what narcissists do is projection. As their daughter, you're their first target. So they're going to call you a whore, call you a slut, every opportunity. So that happened to me. I was 14 years old, and this woman called me a slut. Thankfully, I believe that was the same occasion that I slapped her, so I did defend myself. But it was just preposterous. Like, these women have, not that there ever is a foundation to call, I guess there is, I don't know. But they'll just come up with these hurtful, like the most malicious thing they could say, just because it's shame that they're avoiding, so they put it onto us. It's projection. And I said this in my post, and there is so much negativity associated with sexuality and my narcissistic mother. I don't know what it is, and I don't care, but it's not my burden to bear, but they try to make it our burden to bear. So my narcissistic mother, again, she will always proclaim I was a virgin when I got married. And okay, do you want a trophy for that? I don't know what the appropriate acknowledgement is that you're looking for. Okay, good for you, So I don't know if it's her resentment from, not having had other experiences. I don't know if it's that. I don't know if she's looking for the recognition. Whatever it is, as I said, it's not our burden to bear, but they try like heck to make it our burden. So they'll call us sluts and whores, whatever, again, over, and it's so hurtful. Coming from your mother as a female, that is just beyond words. It's hard to come up with a description for how just hurtful and damaging that is as a daughter for your own mother to call you that. So I put up an Instagram post today, and the response, as I thought, was resounding. So many of us have had similar situations, and it's just profoundly sad, but it's incredibly difficult to separate yourself and not take it personally. But if there's one thing I can tell you, it's do not take this personally. These women do this because they're so miserable. Misery loves company. I say it all the time. Narcissists are so miserable, and they're just full of so much hate and resentment and hostility and anger. So they want us to be as miserable as they are. They view us as subservient. Like, you're my child. You shouldn't have a better life than me. And they have this entitlement, this superiority. Again, it's all part of their fortified, self-protective mechanisms that are so rock solid they don't even realize that they're doing this, that it's just the way it is for them. They just view themselves as being superior and we're inferior. And it's like the first thing they go to is when we start to become teenagers and to explore our sexuality as human beings. It's a natural progression. You know, they just latch onto that and they try to shame you every chance they get. It's disgusting. And in my circumstance, there was the enabler, crony, henchman, and he just jumped on the bandwagon with her. He is preposterously immature, so I think that has a lot to do with it as well. Narcissists are predominantly immature, very, very immature. So I think that their relationship with sexuality is inappropriate to begin with. They don't have like an adult mentality where they're able to appreciate and process things in a mature way. So I think that's an element to it as well, their immaturity. But a lot of narcissists come from childhood trauma, and I am inclined to think that that's most likely related to sexuality, some type of sexual abuse, or they were shamed, or something of that nature. But that's why they come at us with this attack, because it's so hurtful, it's so painful, and, you know, they go for the biggest bang for their buck because they're weak and they don't have anything substantial to threaten us with or insult us with. You know, we're kids, like, at the time that they're launching these horrific attacks. So they just come at us with guns blazing, trying to do as much damage as they possibly can, trying to hurt us in the most profound way. So that's what they do. They call us sluts and whores. I have no words. Like, I'm looking at pictures of my beautiful daughters as I'm making this video, and that breaks my heart. You know, as an adult looking back at our experiences, we never gave ourselves credit because we didn't know any better and because we were taught not to. We were taught that, you know, we just have to keep going, keep fighting through everything and being self-sufficient, taking care of ourselves. We never had any support. No one ever nurtured us. So we're just brutally hard on ourselves. And I think part of healing is reparenting ourselves. I've said that before. But it's time to have compassion for ourselves, for what we went through, and to appreciate it. And as I was saying, as a mom, I look at these beautiful little girls and I love them and I cherish them and I'm honored to be their mom, and it's beyond comprehension how these women were so malicious. They were such monsters to us, and there was no reason for it. It has nothing to do with us. It has everything to do with them. Their shame, their self-protection. They'll do anything to hurt other people because they're hurt and they're trying to protect themselves. Anyway, you guys, I just wanted to put this out. By the way, we are bumped, we are bruised, but above all else, we are blessed because we do have empathy. We do have compassion for others, and we're better people for it. Narcissistic abuse victims are some of the best people out there. I say that, and I genuinely mean it with my heart. I love you all. I'll be back soon.